Good evening, and we return on a Tuesday night with the UkSimracers Toyota GR86 Winner Series, sponsored by Results.com. Results work guard, dependable, coordinated outwear that provides durability to those who rely heavily on their clothing at work. Work smart, foster workforce unity, and sharpen customer confidence by using Work Guard clothing. Work clever, rely on Work Guard garment design and technical fabrics to keep your workforce comfortable throughout their working day. Available in a wide range of sizes and colors, textures and finishes, Work Guard by Result will enhance the image, credibility and price of any professional tradesman from head to toe. Find us at shop.resultclothing.com. I am James Parfitt, and I'm going to be joined in the booth by the one, the only Daan Pepels again with me, and we are here at Barber Motorsport Park. Current track length of this absolute amazing circuit, 2.366 miles, 3.808 kilometers, and we're on the full course that opened in 2003. It broke ground initially in 2002. Current series that it holds is the IndyCar Series, the Moto America, the Atlantic Championship, and former to that was the IMSA Proto Sport Challenge. So I think it's time to bring in Daan Pepels into the booth. Daan, good evening. How are you, sir?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, James. Well, first of all, this is not the first time we've been at this track, James. At least we. But it's with a new car. So yeah, looking forward, of course, to seeing these drivers. Well, go head first into a challenge with this new car, because how long has it been out for now? A week maximum, I think it has been out for this car. And yeah, it's looking really exciting.
Yeah, the Toyota GR86. So welcome in Ivan Bramer, SRL TV, Marnik Heister, and of course, as always, my man Phil across the pond as well. Thank you so much for joining us with this. We've got 12 weeks of the Winter Series. Now, let's run through some things that have happened during that period of time, during the break that we've had. So initially, obviously, we've gone from the MX5 to the Toyota GR86. We've got some promotions from AMS. Craig Jones has been promoted to Pro after winning the AMS Championship last season. Obviously, we did a 3-season championship and Craig Jones won it. We've also got a lot of new drivers in here this season as well. I think we're currently up to about 7 new drivers have joined the UkSimracers this season. So it's going to be absolutely incredible. So we've got drivers such as James Need, Arnold Chananier, we've got Miles Owens, Colin Sansom as well, Anthony Jacobson, Jason Hannington, and David Ayres. They've all joined us on track. I think, though, Dan, the interesting thing is the car. I think that's going to be the biggest thing this year. You know, most of these are interested in driving the Mazda MX5, right? And we've seen continuously the action that these guys bring. But the car itself, as we just see Craig Jones there, been in it on the way in to the pits. Let's catch up with Roger Morton. Now, Roger is from the Safeguard by Result team. He's absolutely flying for an AM, though, Dan, hasn't he? He's done a lot of practice. He's got his setup dialed in as well this week. And he's absolutely flying. He's in third place overall. I think it could be an absolutely incredible race.
Well, Roger Morton, of course, showed that he had potential in the MX5 as well. Not only this car, he was quick in the MX5. Just, I think, now 3 weeks ago, it was, James, when we ended that off. And, well, let's just say that he's doing really well here in this Toyota. Of course, we know that it's a difficult car to drive, something that all the drivers have to get used to, because no one has got the chance to drive it before last week. So all the drivers have had the exact same time to drive in this car. And yeah, it looks like Roger Morton has done a really good job in getting that setup dialed in and practicing as much as he could, because he's looking lightning quick here.
Absolutely, but we're looking at the Toyota in general, right? It's a 2.4 litre, four-cylinder, 6-speed sequential gearbox. Now, I've heard good things. I've heard bad things. Generally, you have come out and said that the car oversteers. It's got too much grip. It's just too heavy-handed. But yet, people seem to be able to deal with that. And Daniel Hunt currently is one of them people that seem to be able to get hold of this car and drive it like it's supposed to. Now, I don't know if that's because we've seen Daniel Tokyo drift an MX5 round the carousel at Road America, or it's just his style matches this car, Dan. And I can't quite picture what the situation is, but Daniel Hunt is looking lightning quick in this car.
Yeah, he's looking really quick, and well, let's just say I've had a chat with him before this, and his answer to me saying that he was quick was, well, if you're quick in one thing, you're usually quick in all the others. Saying that, though, Pete Newman goes up into first here in this practice session, just at the dying moments, with a 135.991. So we know that there are setups. Well, at work here, it might be Pete Newman with the setup with only 2 laps in it, just a qualifying setup. We, of course, don't know that yet. But, well, I think we're going to have to look at qualifying to see where the drivers stack up. Because here in practice, James, it's always difficult to say what kind of programs the drivers are running.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Where it's an open setup series, you know, these guys can tweak it. And Roger, I was talking in the results chat beforehand, and Roger Morton was talking to Craig Jones, and Craig was like, well, you know, can I have you set up? Because obviously Roger's done some work on it. The problem is obviously he may have done some work on it, but it's like Roger said, that my setup may not match your driving. And is that one of the things we're going to see? Because if the drivers do share setups, are they going to be able to adapt it for all of them as we just go into the 15 minutes of qualifying?
Well, the drivers did share setups when I was there. When I was having a chat with them, they were saying, well, try this out, of course, because it's a new car as well. You want, you want as much information about the car as possible. You want to try out as much as possible to know what really suits you, and you want to try out, well, as much as you can, basically, to learn the car, learn how the car drives in different ways. So yeah, it's good to try different setups, and that's why I think they shared them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So the format for this evening has not changed. It's still going to be 4 15-minute races with random reverses on race 2 and 3 and a reverse on race 1. So tune in and make sure you stay here, because trust me guys, if you've not seen any of these series from last season, go back and have a look, because they are absolutely incredible. And I think overall this series is just going to be action-packed throughout this whole 4 races, and they generally are, and we generally don't let you down, and we generally bring you the best racing. So please make sure that you are having a look at them, because it is going to be absolutely incredible. And I for one can't wait for this, Dan. I think this is the most exciting thing, you know, one of the most exciting sort of periods that we've had with a new season, partly because of the fact it's just new. They're on a level playing field. You know, the drivers are on a level playing field with the car. Nobody really knows the car. So hopefully we should be able to bring the best action that we can. Now, what's happened is there was a decal layer that come out quite late in the day today that not all drivers have had put on their cars, okay? So there is a decal layer that will be coming and that everybody will be being able to basically put on. As you can see on Pete Newman's windscreen, there is a Pro for a yellow band with the results logo in the corner with the UkSimracers. Now, in the AMS, there is, if I'm not mistaken, on Miles Owen's car, there is an AMS logo, which will be the blue, okay? So these will be coming, as we see Miles just stick it in the wall. So the decal layer will be coming across all cars, but because it came out very late today, not everybody has been able to get it on the car. So stay tuned for that one, because by next week, everybody should have this decal layer on the car of whether or not they're AMS or Pros. So they are coming, guys, but they come out quite late in the day. Pete Newman managed to get them done quite late. All right. So let's go. Chris Dixon, good luck tonight, everyone. I hope to join your racing soon once I get up to speed. It's going to be amazing. Hash Brown, you guys do bring only the best, no doubt. Oh, if you've seen some of the MX5 racing that these guys have put on from last season, Dan, I think at one point we had a 3,000ths of a second between the top two, and then it was 600ths of a second between 2 and 3. There was nothing in it. So stay tuned, because you are going to be in for some absolute epic racing here at the moment. As you can see, Daniel Hunt currently top of the time in tower, 1:36.346. Roger Morton on a 1:36.827. James Need on a 1:36.673 currently as well. So the times are coming in thick and fast already, Dan. You know, it's going to be interesting to see what these guys are able to do with these cars. And I'm excited because I want to get on track and go and bust out a move in one. But from these guys' point of view, they've got to be working hard with this new car.
Well, it's the same, like I said, what was it, 5 minutes ago now. It's a new car. It's always difficult to learn a new car. It's always, you basically face new challenges that you've never seen before, especially with a car from this caliber. It's a car that, as far as I know, and of course I had a chat with some drivers, is not perfect yet. There are some, well, it feels incomplete, let's say it like that. So it's a car that is, it feels very weird when you drive it at the moment. But yeah, it's a lovely car to drive still. So drivers will enjoy it, and I think they will enjoy the new challenge.
Yeah, as you can see, Pete Van Gool there, our very own PVG, is currently going green across the board. He's being towed by Pete Newman. The guys from Momo have got their decal layers on their cars. They must have gone on very late because they were not on there earlier on in practice. See Pete Newman going off to the side there, and on the left hand side he's gone into the wall. PVG has also gone round as well. I think one of the things that people are going to have to do with this car, Dan, especially the likes of maybe some of the AM drivers, is basically be able to bring it into check. They've got to keep it on track. Don't overdrive the thing. Get it sorted out and get it pinned down to the floor, because otherwise they're going to be going round and round and round like they have been already, and that's the last thing we really want to be seeing drivers do.
Yeah, that's the same as I did. I've had to go in this car, and it's a difficult one. It feels like it's really front heavy. So the front has all the grip, and the back just kind of follows after it. At least that's what it's also looked like. Because, well, we do see so many spinners, and usually it's not because of overcorrecting. It's because, well, the rear end just steps out, especially under braking. It's a difficult car under braking. They've played around with some of the different discs that you could put on the car. You could put the low, the medium, and the high friction discs on this car. And they've been playing around with that to see what kind of fits the car the best. Because when you go on the brake really hard, when you stamp on that brake pedal, the car gets really light at the back and it starts, well, swerving around. Which is, we both know, James, it's something that you do not want under braking, especially under heavy braking.
No, but is that why it suits the likes of Daniel Hunt, Jamie Ayres, Pete Van Gool, because they used to slide in that MX5 round the back end? Is that why, though? Because they both have MX5 setups that have been loose, and they've told us that it's been loose as well. As we can see the tyre sinking into the track there. You know, they drive loose setups in general. So is that why we're seeing it as it is currently, that the fact that it's Daniel Hunt, PVG, James Neve and Jamie Ayres at the top of the timing tower?
It could be, and I don't know, it's a difficult one to say. It's setup is a big part, and of course every driver has his favorite car, but yeah, it's definitely down to the preference of the driver. Do you like an oversteery setup, or do you more, or are you more towards an understeery setup? It's difficult to say.
Well, I'm going to be dead sat here and sit here and be like, this is going to be amazing, because knowing what these drivers have been like in the MX5, this is going to be absolutely incredible. And with 22 cars on track for this series, rushing down into that first left-hander of turn one, Going to be amazing. 16 corners here tonight. No corner names for me and Dan to try and remember. They are literally turn 1 to 16. Even I can count that high without having to take my shoes and socks off. You know what I mean? So I'm happy about that. But there was a lot of talk from some of these drivers that have been struggling with this car. But stay tuned, guys, because I don't think you're going to be disappointed. I think there's going to be reactions on that one, Dan, especially with the fact of this, how is this going to react on cold tyres? They've got to be looking at trying to settle it down. And with the new drivers as well, they're going to be wanting to try and find their feet and go out with start with a bang. But that bang can't be into the back end of somebody else. They've got to be settling down and saying, well, I'm new here, you know, I want these points to start the season off with well, because this is literally a one-season championship. There isn't any tri-series that they had last time out. This is, you know, a one-season shot deal. So they are fighting for the winter championship, and they are going for it. And that's going to be one of the interesting things. Now, I think we're going to have a look at the schedule there on the right-hand side of your screen. We do start week 1 at Barber Motorsport Park, round 2 at Brands Hatch, then we go on to round 3 for Cota, round 4 is Donington Park, round 5 Lime Rock, round 6 Bathurst. Imagine these at Bathurst, Mount Panorama. That's going to be amazing. Round 7 at the Red Bull Ring, and then round 8 at Snetterton Circuit. Round 9 we go to Summit Point Raceway. Round 10 is Suzuka International. Round 11 we go to Watkins Glen Boot. Round 12, we go to Sebring. So mark them dates down in your calendar, guys, because you're not going to want to miss any of that action there as well. So get them marked down, ready to go, because trust me, once you see this first race, you're going to be hooked. And that's what we're hoping for. The hook of the first race. These drivers go out and do a great show in this car, because some do like it. You know, some do like the car. Miles Owen sitting in 9th, currently on a 137.335. He's doing the job. Jamie Ayres has just got into 3rd place ahead of James Neve. So we're going to keep an eye on that one. So qualifying bars are on the bottom, guys. Yellow and green. Obviously, yellow not improving. Green going faster. Purple fastest overall. Pros and AMs. AMs are in the turquoise blue at the top. Pros are in the yellow. So there will be marked on the left-hand side of the timing tower as well. And we will bring it up, the pros and AMs split, while the race is happening. So stay tuned for that one. We will bring you all the information you need. If you need any other information, please type it in chat. We will have a look and get back to you on that one. But we are running with a last top 17 reverse for race 2. So that alone blows my mind at how this is going to work out.
We both know, James, that a reverse grid race always, and I say this with well, 100% certainty, it will always bring you action, even at this track, which is known for not bringing the best racing. James, we also know that this is a track where it's difficult to overtake. A reversed grid race always, with 100% certainty, brings action, because the quicker drivers are at the back, they have to get through. And, well, that's always great to look at.
Yeah, absolutely, as well. We've got Arnold Shannon. Oh, man. I knew it. Dan, I knew it. We could practice that surname all day long.
Yes.
And then we get into the live broadcast, and I can't even get it right once. How did we do it earlier?
Channonnier.
Channonnier, there you go.
Yes.
Arnold Channonnier, right?
Yeah.
And we've been practicing this in the green room before we come live, but clearly James forgot as he's coming to the live broadcast. So Channonnier here in 9th place, currently the Frenchman here as well, joining us from Team RWC Racing. He's teamed up.
If it's French.
James, yeah, he is French. Channonnier.
Yeah, but if it's French, then you could also say Arnaud. You could really give it a French twist. Arnaud.
All right, well, you crack on, and I'll just call him Channonnier. And he's teamed up with Jason Haddington. So if you haven't, they are all in teams here, guys, as well. DOF Reality SimRacers Studios is Daan Hunt. Then we got the Momos, then we got the Safeguard by Results, JN Racing, which is James Neve Racing, Safeguard by Results, Results Clothing, iRacing, Pure Sims, RWC, Platinum Racing Team there with Miles Owen, Safeguard by Result, Year 1 with Colin Sansom, and the Spyro by Result with David Ayres, and also Anthony Jacobson as well. So there's all the teams. Optical Red are here, Optical Green as well with Optical Red, Carl Jacklett, and also Elise Main. So stay tuned because the action will be underway in about 1 minute 45. And currently we have Dan Hunt on pole on a 1:36.05. There we go.
Well, pole position in the AM class is at the moment for James with, at the moment, he has set a lap time of 1:36.51. So not too far off our pro pole position time there, James.
Yeah, exactly. James Neve is come into the series now. Obviously, with the splits of drivers, they will be reviewed by race 3 as well. So obviously, if James is going along and is absolutely decimating the AMs, then there's a good chance that after race 3, he will be moved up to the pros. So we will keep an eye on that as well, because promotion and that can take place during the season. So we should see a couple of drivers there maybe move up in the standings. Not too sure on the demotion kind of things. I think it's more promotional based. So Elise Main here from the Optical Red, currently sitting in 15th on a 1:37.8, and there pulls it over as well. There isn't anyone going currently quicker. Chanonnier here in 9th place. Another AM.
Ooh, easy to do.
He goes round. Right beside
Not
Ralph.
the only one going around.
No, clearly Ralph Cullinan decided that he was going to join him at one point as well. And then here's Charles Kellerman. Charles in the pros, of course, in 13th place from the optical green car there as well. So see what he's able to do. You got talking to some of the guys earlier on, right, as well. And we're just going to bring up the grid quickly before we go through what they said. Daniel Hunt is in first place, Pete Van Gaal in second, Jamie Ayres in third, Carl Hardy fourth, James Need in fifth, Roger Morton sixth, Ralph Cullinan seventh, Pete Newman eighth, Arnold Chanonnier in ninth, Miles Owens 10th, Darrell Wright 11th, and Colin Sansom in 12th place. Beyond that, we've got Charles Kellerman in 13th, Anthony Jacobson in 14th, Elise Main 15th, Andy Littler 16th, David Ayres in 17th, Craig Jones 18th, Dale Benison 19th, Jason Haddington in 20th, Carl Jacklett 21st, Steve Hansford 22nd, and Martin Sampson 23rd place there as well for the first UkSimracers Championship, Winter Championship, live from Barber Motorsport, sponsored by Results Clothing. Please go and check them out over at resultsclothing.com. That would be absolutely amazing. Right, here we go, Dan. Quickly, where's your money going, race 1?
Probably with the Pulsar to Daniel Hunt. He looked lightning quick in practice. So did he in qualifying. And, well, the only thing that surprises me is Pete Newman is down on P8. So I expect him to come forward a little bit at least.
Right, here we go, guys. The lights are on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's go, go, go for round 1 of the UkSimracers Toyota Winter Championship, live from Barber Motorsport. Currently it's Daniel Hunt leading the way with Pete Van Gaal, Jamie Ayres, James Neve, Pete Newman all behind. There's a spinner in the middle. Chanonnier's gone round. He's managed to get the car out of the way. Oh, Charles Kellerman and one of the results boys there as well at the back of the grid. That was Craig Jones, unfortunately, at the back of the grid already. Jamie Ayres settling in 3rd place at this moment in time, Dan. I would say everybody got away cleanly. Charles Kellerman, Craig Jones, and Arnold Chanonnier did not.
No, they did not, but Daniel Hunt got a good start. The jump from the line didn't really look like a great one for Daniel Hunt, but in the second phase of acceleration, he really got ahead of Pete Van Gaal. Now Pete Van Gaal in second, fending off Jamie Ayres in third. The top 3 has stayed the same. Behind that, of course, James Nave has moved up a position. Pete Newman has moved up 3, so like I said, I expected him to come forward a little bit, and he has definitely done so. I think for now, James, it's settled down. Try and, well, keep the car on track.
Yeah, absolutely. That's got to be the main lap 1 goal here, is keep the car on track. And we're on board with Pete Newman currently sitting in 5th place, chasing down James Neve there from JN Racing, and currently nothing doing there for Pete Newman. He's got to battle his way back through to the front. PVG is trying to get hold of Daniel Hunt, but Daniel Hunt is trying to break away with Jamie Ayres tucked up currently in third place as well. And we are underway for race one. Charles Kellerman has been off. Martin Sampson has crashed with David Ayres. There is Martin Sampson. Yeah, oh, heavy on the brakes. Heavy on the brakes. Here he comes. Oh! He just manages to go round there and misses him completely. But Jamie Ayres currently is a man on a mission. But he's got to be a man on a defensive mission here as well, though, Dan, because he's got James Neve clothing right behind him.
And he's going for the outside move, though. Can he make it stick? Not quite, though. The inside is preferred there. You don't want to touch the curb on the inside because it can just throw you out to the outside and spin you around. So you want to stay off that curbstone. Pete Van Gool, though, in second, still sitting pretty there in P2. Jamie Ayres having to fend off now. But Pete Newman behind that, all this fighting ahead of him is allowing him to get closer and closer and closer.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a poll up in chat for your race one winner. Is it going to be Daniel Hunt, PVG, or Pete Newman, or James Neve here as well? Newman currently sitting in fifth place, chasing down Neve right behind him. Currently he's up the back of Jamie Ayres. Elise Main is trying to get on the back of Daniel Wright. Currently, Darrell Wright, this is a battle for 11th and 12th place. Let's see how this one pans out. Carl Jacklett has been involved in an incident and has dropped down the order. He's got Charles Kellerman tucked up right behind him currently at the moment as well. Kellerman on the left in the green. Jacklett from Optical Red as they're coming into turn 12 is the left. Then they've got to go a tight right-hander. Are they going to be able to stop that car? Puff of smoke there for Carl Jacklett as we go back up front with the leaders. Jamie Ayres, PVG, James Neve, and the battling Pete Newman. What a start. What a start.
James Neve seems to have dropped back a little bit from Jamie Ayres. Is now under attack from Pete Newman. James Neve's going to have to watch out because we know that Pete Newman is quick in every car that he does drive. Daniel Hunt has created a little bit of a gap over a second at the front of the field. Pete Newman might be going for a move down the inside. Quiet though, not quite close enough. Jamie Ayres now is caught up to Pete Van Gool. And there is Pete Newman going for a move on the exit. Didn't quite expect it there, but they're going to be going 3 wide now into the right hand. And this is a tricky part to go through single file because it is braking when turning. And they're going to go side by side through. There's contact. Pete Newman has to stop, has to go off track. James Neve is off as well, as is, I think, Jamie Ayres.
Jamie Ayres, James Neve, 3 wide in a one turn was never going to work. James Neve has managed to get the car back on track again. I hope you've been holding on to your chat of your vote of who you think was going to win, because it certainly may not be Jamie Ayres or James Neve. Currently at the moment, Daniel Hunt is out in front by 1.09 seconds. Roger Morton is absolutely flying. He's leading the AMS. He's in 4th place overall, Dan. The boy's on a mission. I'm not going to lie, he's on a mission.
Yeah, he's trying to now overtake Pete Newman. Would that be a good thing to do though, James? Because he's not really in the same championship, and behind him he has, of course, Miles Owens, who's, well, trying to catch up to him, is the 2nd place driver in the AM class, 9 times back from Roger Morton at the moment, and that gap is growing. So he might be sitting pretty here behind Pete Newman, just, well, trying to get a little bit of that slipstream, trying to tow forward together with Pete, and will open up that gap to Miles Owens and Ralph Cullinan behind him.
Yeah, let's see how this one pans out. There's a little interesting battle with Miles Owens here trying to chase down Ralph Cullinan. Dan Hunt, however, has got PVG literally nose to tail. And if you don't believe me, well, there he is there, the looming Momo of Pete Van Gool, and his touch and go as these guys go around turn 9. They're going to be coming into the left and right of turn 10 and 11. And currently Daniel Hunt is on a whole heap of pressure, and PVG is not letting up. The Dutchman is not giving in, Dan, and he definitely will not give in, as we full well know.
While we were looking at that, James, I think something has happened to Ralph Cullinan. He's dropped back to P10, and he was, remember, between Roger Morton and Miles Owens in P5. Now Miles Owens has done that position, is now right behind Roger Morton. Here we're going to see what happened to him. Was it maybe contact with Miles Owens? Was it the curbstone? No, it was before that. He spun around already before that. doesn't get collected by Miles Owens, luckily for Miles Owens. And, well, luckily for Ralph Cullinan as well. He can continue his way.
Yeah, absolutely flying start there. Daniel Hunt in first, PVG second, Pete Newman third, and Roger Morton in fourth. Miles Owens in fifth, Darrell Wright sixth, Anthony Jacobson in seventh, and Elise Main in an absolute amazing eighth. There is this little battle here. Darrell Wright, Anthony Jacobson, Elise Main, James Neve, and Ralph Cullinan. James Neve and Cullinan are recovering through. Anthony Jacobson, new to the series. James Neve, new to the series. Elise Main, the Lioness, is back this season as well, and they're going three wide into currently turn 5. Jacobson out in front, Neve on the left now. We've got Elise Main right in the mix as well. Darrell Wright's trying to break away currently, but cannot get away from Anthony Jacobson, from James Neve, from Elise Main, as these ladies and gentlemen go rushing round turn 7 and 8.
No!
Oh, Main's off. Main is off. Can she keep out of the wall? She can, but she's going down the order. Oh, unfortunate for Elise Main there. Down the order, all the way down into 15th. Darrell Wright. Anthony Jacobson right beside him currently out as well. Oh! Jacobson there took off the nose of Darrell Wright. That was it. You gone, son. The plastic surgeon is on a booking. Because I tell you what, he has just lost his nose on that one, mate. I tell you.
I'm so impressed at the moment, James, by James Neve. He's been doing such a tremendous job coming back from, I think, that spin he had at the beginning. Or wasn't it, I don't think it was James.
Yeah, it was James. James Neve and Jamie Ayres.
Yes, he's coming back really well from that spin. So, yeah, he's looking really quick. And he might be one of the ones to look out for maybe in that reverse grid race. Because once he's at the head of the Anfield, he might be really, really quick.
Yeah, absolutely. He is flying currently as well. They're three wide down the straight into turn 5. Neve on the right, Jacobson in the middle, and Darrell Wright on the outside. And it is, oh, that's Ralph Cullinan actually, not Jacobson. Jacobson's at the back there. That's Ralph Cullinan sending it three wide with Jamie Ayres as well. These 5 having an absolute ding-dong here with Neve and Cullinan. Cullinan's trying to stamp his mark on it earlier on. Oh, that's not going to work. Is it going to? No. Yep. Oh.
Not quite.
They're running free again, Dan. Oh, this cannot work, surely.
Well, side by side through is possible. 3 wide is not, as you can see behind, because behind Ralph Cullinan is Darrell Wright and Jamie Ayres, who are trying to, well, fight over 8th and 9th position. At the moment, they're all going single file through here. Taking a lot of the curb there is Jamie Ayres. Is now going to go up the inside of Darrell Wright. Up front, though, Ralph Cullinan can't quite make the move yet. James Neve, although he was, of course, in that lofty P5. Now he's made the move. You cannot go through there side by side through the last corner because you wash out to the outside. Easy to, well, get turned into the wall on the left-hand side by that curb zone. So you, well, kind of want to stay off of that curb zone. They both didn't. And now it is, I think, Darrell Wright going up the inside of Ralph Cullinan. Not quite able to make that move stick. Had a little look, though. Thought the better of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Ralph Cullinan now. James Neve in front of us. Darrell Wright behind us. Currently at the moment, and we're on that run down into turn 5. We've seen this before, but they've ended up 3 wide. It's not 3 wide this time around, but Darrell Wright is just about to get Jamie Ayres trying to send it up the inside into turn 5. He's not managed it this time around, but I'm expecting it to be coming, and it's coming very, very soon. Andy Littler is also in a battle with David Ayres currently at the moment from Spyro by result here as well. This is pockets of battles happening all across the track. Steve Hansford has gone down. That's because he's gone round. Elise Main is trying to battle back as well. She's trying to get rid of Andy Littler, but that's not happening either. Jamie Ayres and Anthony Jacobson swapping positions here as well. Jacobson's coming back on the inside here, Dan, on this run down into turn 12.
Well, can he make it stick? This is a difficult section, and he does get the inside, does get a little bit loose though on entry. That is what I said is so easily done here under braking with these cars. So front heavy that the rear gets really light under braking. I must say, James, though, I love the sound of these Toyotas. They sound so adorable when they go past.
Well, I don't know if adorable would be a word for some of these drivers, but they do have a little whirl on them, which I do love, of course. Anthony Jacobson here as well. Ralph Cullinan chasing down James Neave. 3 temps back from them guys currently at the moment as well. Let's see how this one pans out here as we're coming in to the last 3 minutes, Dan, here tonight. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how this one pans out, because the gaps, look at the times of the last lap between Cullinan and Neve. Neve's been quicker, Cullinan's been quicker, Neve's been quicker, Cullinan's been quicker. It's been backwards and forwards so many times. I don't think this is done. I think within the last 2.5 minutes, we're going to see him go again.
Might he try again? Well, we're looking at the moment, we're looking at Arnaud Chanonnier. It's a difficult one to pronounce quickly, I have to say. Yes. That's going to be one that I'm going to struggle with once I'm doing the speed reading of the grid. But he's fending off. Oh, that's a spin there in the background.
The turn 10, Anthony Jacobson. Jacobson has spun. He's put the Toyota in the wall. Oh, he put it in the wall in a big way. We're going to have a look back at that one, because he's put it in the wall in a big old way, in a little ding-dong with Jamie Ayres. Did he go in too deep? He weird. Ayres left him room. Oh, no. Oh. Jacobson straight in the wall there. James Neave, Ralph Cullinan, 1:58 on the clock here this evening as they're coming together up front as well. Daniel Hunt. They are coming together. There's going to be this one and one more lap. And currently James Neave and Miles Owens there as well. Daniel Hunt's trying to clear the gap he's got with PVG tucked in right behind him. But this Ralph Cullinan, James Neave battle is only getting spicier. The thing is, they've got quite a long old way. I think Miles Owens is currently, he's trying to chase down Roger Morton. So Miles Owens there from the Platinum Racing team, chasing down Roger Morton. And we've got the last lap coming up, Dan. And, well, I don't know where to go on this one, because it's going to be absolutely incredible.
Well, fights all over the field, and I think that's what we like to see at the moment, though. Ralph Cullinan, the man we are looking with at the moment in the number 32 Results Toyota. That's the one who's chasing down James Neave at the moment in the number 20 Toyota. This is a tricky section, though, James. The exit is important, and it looks like James has got that one tied up. And Ralph Cullinan now the one to, well, chase him down, maybe overtake him into the next section. Is tricky to do so. That one is flat out, though. That short left-right chicane. But apart from that, I don't think there are much corners flat out there on this circuit. It is a tricky one, though, because you do wash out to the outside on exit.
Yeah, absolutely. We're on the final lap of the race. Daniel Hunt, Pete Van Gaal, Pete Newman. Newman in third, VG in second, Hunt in first. How is this going to pan out? We're going to find out in the next minute and a half here as well. James Hannington, Darrell Wright and Andy Littler have all had a incident. Whether or not that's all together, only time will tell. But currently in the moment, Daniel Hunt, Pete Van Gaal, Newman. What can Newman do? Can he close up close enough to get the finish he needs? And he hasn't got many corners left. We're coming into turn 7. Don't forget there's 16 on the track. There's only 9 to go, and not all of them you can overtake at. And Daniel and Pete Newman here, straight line in that chicane. Is supposed to be a left-right, but it was just a turn left, go straight there for Pete Newman down.
Well, that's how you take that, because you have to brake on the downhill part as well. Remember, Pete Newman, that gap was at some point above 3 seconds. He's closed that gap down. He is mighty quick, is Pete Newman, also in this Toyota. We saw it in the MX5 from him. This one, though, really difficult. A little bit oversteer on entry. On exit, though, gets really close to the back of PVG. Can't quite make the move here, because it's a tricky section. The outside, the inside. What is he going to choose? He's going to go for the outside. Maybe switch back on the exit. Not quite able to do so. Got a little bit of oversteer, and looks like it's going to finish as it stays right now. Daniel Hunt is going to win the first race in the Toyotas. Behind that, though, Pete Newman, can he chase him down? Not quite. And that's going to be P2, 3, P1, 2, and 3 all settled. Meanwhile, the battle for the abs Also really close. Roger Morton fence off Miles Owens on that last lap. The gap in the end, though, less than 1.5 tenths. Here it is. James Neve and Ralph Cullinan for P6 and 7. That gap also below the 1.5 tenths mark.
And here is the next three. Jamie Ayres, Darrell Wright, Arnold Chonier on the outside with Darrell Wright as well. Is he going to be able to get him? There, Dale Benison trying. Didn't quite get him this time around. David Ayres in 12th place. Elise Main in 13th. Charles Kellerman 14th there. Anthony Jacobson with no bonnet, producing a new airflow. Carl Jacqueline with Andy Littler going across the line as Jacqueline gets the job done over Littler, and Sansom coming across the line with Hansford tucked up right behind him. I think for race one, as race one goes, one of the better ones, Dan, I tell you. Race one opener is incredible, as per always here tonight, and we will now bring you up the results. So the first race of round one, live from Barber Motorsports for the UK SimRacers Toyota GR86 Winter Series, sponsored by Results Clothing. In first place is Daniel Hunt. In second place, Pete Van Gool. Third is Pete Newman. Fourth is Roger Morton. Fifth is Miles Owens. Sixth is James Neve. Seventh is Ralph Cullinan. And eighth is Jamie Ayres. Ninth is Darrell Wright. 10th is Arnold Chonier. 11th is Dale Benison. 12th is David Ayres. 13th is Elise Main. 14th, Charles Kellerman. 15th, Anthony Jacobson. 16th, Carl Jacqueline. 17th, Andy Littler. 19th is Colin Sansom. Then on to the last there as well. Steve Hansford was behind that. Jason Haddington, Carl Hardy, Martin Sampson, and Craig Jones unfortunately did not finish the race. All right, we've got a top 17 reverse now. Now, as race one goes, we are going into a little bit of a warm-up. As race one goes, I think you've got to admit, that wasn't a bad opener, was it? These drivers don't really know the car. Some have done practice, some have not got practice in it, you know, and they've flown along quite nicely, Dan.
Yeah, it was a great race to look at, and I think it's no different to what we saw with the MX5. Actually, a lot of drivers compared this car to the MX5. Of course, it's a car that doesn't have too much power. It's a car that, if you are in any corner, you can just put your throttle pedal down, pedal to the metal, and it will not spin you out, and you can turn the TC completely off. So that's almost the same as you can do with an MX5 after the first lap, because an MX5 is a little bit lighter, I think, than this car is.
So where are we going to race to then? The problem is, to me, it seems like a lot of these drivers are really kind of level on their abilities, and especially within that Pro-Am mix there as well. And I'm just wondering how we're going to pan out on this top 17 reverse. It doesn't take much. You know, you've got Daniel Hunt, PVG, 17th, 16th, Newman, 15th. They've got to come through the order, and as we've seen, it's not always that easy with this car at this track.
No, it's not. And well, the thing that amazes me the most, James, is how quickly these drivers got up to speed. And we didn't see too many spins, because in practice and in qualifying, remember, we saw a lot of drivers having difficulties to keep the car on the track and actually get a flying lap in. So yeah, not too many drivers who made an unforced error. So yeah, that's what I was, I think, most surprised by.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think you've got to look at what you know, you're able to do with the ability that you've got, and I think these guys kind of showed the fact that they've got that ability to be able to drive this car. It's coming across as a love-hate Marmite jam sandwich kind of thing, because, you know, some people love it, some people don't, and I'm dead interested to see what it handles like, and I can't wait to get in it. But I just think, you know, what we've got going on in race two with the reverse grid, still the same 15-minute race. You know, we are in warm-up now currently at the moment, and there are a few drivers currently out on track as well. Jamie Ayres being one of them, of all people. Roger Morton, Craig Jones is there as well. Of course, Craig didn't really get much running in race one. Going to be interesting to see here, I think.
Definitely. And what I'm most interested in for race 2 is how the drivers can get through the field. It's a difficult track to really overtake on. These Toyotas though have proven us, well, to be wrong with that assumption, because there was quite a lot of action here, especially down into 5. I think down into 7, 8, and 9. There was a lot of action, especially coming out of 9, because that's a really tricky section. That's this section we're going through right now. It's a difficult section to get right, and thus it's a section where if you're behind someone and you get a good exit and a driver in front, well, really ruins his exit out of the corner. It's definitely one that you can overtake on exit once you go to 10 and 11.
We say we've unexpected. We're coming to the end of warm-up, brief 5-minute warm-up there this evening as well before we go into race 2. I was hoping to be able to catch a chat with Sir Alan Toon. Now, I want to give Alan a big shout out the other day. Alan, unfortunately, slipped over and broke his shoulder. And he's got to have a operation on his shoulder. But let's bring you up the grid for race 2 here as well. Andy Littler in first, Carl Jacklett second, Anthony Jacobson third, Charles Kellerman fourth, Elise Main fifth, David Ayres sixth, Dale Benison seventh, Arnold Chonier in eighth, Darrell Wright ninth, Jamie Ayres 10th, Ralph Cullen 11th, James Need is in currently 12th place. Miles Owen 13th, Roger Morton 14th, Pete Newman 15th, PVG 16th, Daniel Hunt 17th, Colin Sanson 18th, Hansford 19th, Haddon 20th, Hardy 21st, Sampson 21st, 22nd, and Craig Jones is in 23rd place there. Excuse the speed reading, right? But you got to understand these guys get on the grid very swiftly. So if anybody's listening and you know how to slow them down, I'm much up for it as well. But currently it's Andy Littler on pole position for race 2, and we are underway here as well. Andy Littler, Carl Jacklett, Anthony Jacobson will do your top 3. Elise Main's already made gains as well. She's up 1 going up the inside. Kellerman into turn 1 currently at the moment, and they're all flying along quite nicely. The battle here is down in the middle. James Need, Dale Benison, David Ayres and Jamie Ayres, they're all having a scrap there down, but at the moment everybody got away cleanly.
Everybody this time got away cleanly and got through turn 1 crucially. Last time out we saw a spinner in turn 1. This time around everyone through there cleanly at the front of the field, though it has stayed the same though. But I'm saying that Andy Littler has gone deep into turn 5. And
contact.
I think shot up the track is Carl Jacklett as well, and that has allowed Anthony Jacobson to take the lead of this race. Elise Main in second now, and Arnaud Chardonnier in third. So after I think the first couple of corners, it all got crazy all of a sudden.
Yeah, Jacobson out in front, tagged Carl Jacklett. They come side by side there as well. Chardonnier in third, Kellerman fourth, Ayres in fifth. Accident in the middle. Accident in the middle. It's Miles Owens. Miles Owens, Darrell Wright, Andy Littler, and Colin Sanson is currently there as well. He's not actually here, so it's just a battle down with Wright, Owens, and Hardy, all involved in their own little bit of a ding-dong going on there as well. Chardonnier currently in second place. Oh, it's starting to get spicy here in race 2. And if you show the gap currently at the moment between these cars, you will see a whole bunch of orange because they are close. There is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chain. And Jamie Ayres is trying to break that now, trying to go up the inside of Charles Kellerman. Down into turn 1. Kellerman lets him through this time. Whoa. Here we go, Dan. Here we go.
James Neve in the middle of it. Had to move to the left-hand side because Charles Kellerman moved across to the left-hand side. Of course, he had to take avoiding action. But what has happened to Elise Main? She's dropped down. I think she was at some point in P2 and dropped down to P6. Did she have an off-track excursion? Of course, never good for your lap time. Down the inside, though, goes James Neve. Back past Charles Kellerman. Has made that pass once again. That has allowed now Jamie, or Elise Main, excuse me, to get the run on Charles Kellerman. Not quite able to, well, take advantage of that run that she got, but into turn 7, 8, and 9 now. Difficult section, and, well, I think in the opening lap it proved why it was so difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. Chenonnier in second place currently at the moment. He's got the ever-looming Jamie Ayres. I tell you what, Daniel Hunt and Dale Benison here as well with Carl Jacklett. Jacklett and Benison there up beside each other currently at the moment. And they are, in layman's terms, absolutely flying. Benison has got down the order. And he's dropping down the order very, very fast there. He's dropped all the way down into 11th place currently at the moment. Ayres! No, he did go round, Dan, but it's not the first time we've seen Jamie Ayres back end this Toyota.
Well, once the backhand of this car goes, there's no holding it anymore. Like I said, very front heavy, rear very light when it does decide to go. Jamie Ayres, though, immediately decides to get back past James Neven, does manage to do so already, though. The AM driver who has joined us this evening, Anthony Jacobson, with a lead of 3 seconds almost here in the feature race. Can he make it work to try and get popped, or to try and keep that lead here? The gap was 3 seconds already, coming down to Jamie Ayres. We know that Jamie Ayres is quick, but 2.5 seconds though, it's quite a lot to catch up.
Yeah, he is here. Roger Morton chasing down Carl Jacklett, chasing down Daniel Hunt. Hunt has got a little bit of a slow exit. That's allowed Jacklett to come up right beside him on the right-hand side as they're battling for the inside of 7 at the moment. Can this make do with Jacklett here? He's not going to make it this time around. Neve has got past Jamie Ayres, but Ayres is looking at coming back up straight away at him as these guys come into turn 10 and 11. Ayres on the left, Neve on the right. In that Golf livery, you've got to leave room because Ayres is coming, and he is flying at the moment. Is Jamie Ayres on this run down into turn 12. This battle here is hotting up. Chenonnier in this as well. He's going to try and ride Ayres around the outside. Oh, stellar job. Arnold Chenonnier just rides that Toyota right round the outside of Jamie Ayres, and that was incredible.
I think, James, at the moment, the top 3 are all new drivers and are also, at the moment, all AM class drivers. So doing a tremendous job to keep ahead of Jamie Ayres, the first of the pros. Behind that, Charles Ketterman, Pete Newman, Elise Main, Daniel Hunt, Carl Jacklett, and Roger Morton at the moment riding off the top 10. Ralph Cullen got past him though, so he's now up to P10. But, well, what a fight this is at the front of the field for P3 and 2, because P2 has now gone away a little bit. James Neeve has got a little bit of a gap to Chenonnier. Jamie Ayres, though, dropping back to him as well.
Yeah, Ayres is losing a little bit of time. Not much, mind you, but enough to be making a difference. And they're coming up behind Chenonnier and trying to get back on the back end of him. He's going to be chasing him now. He's got to be looking at the inside of 7, which he's trying to go after here. Ayres on the inside. He's got the job done this time around. Chenonnier just says, thank you very much. You can have it, son. And Ayres battles out there, gets his elbows out and says, thank you very much. Gap down to 1.8. 8 minutes remaining. Kellerman trying to make a move on the outside of Newman. Both of these guys are pros, remember. Pete Newman there sitting in 5th, Kellerman in 6th. As these guys are battling away. Look at the stream of these Toyotas. There is battles all the way through. PVG up the back of Ralph Cullen, and Ralph Cullen on the back of Carl Jacklett. He's trying to make his way as well at the same time, but where did it all go wrong for this man, Craig Jones? It went wrong down in turn 1. He's managed to make it through here as well. Don't forget, he was trying to battle his way back through the field.
There goes the rear end.
Snaps back round again, and unfortunately for Craig Jones, he is off. Newman, Chenonnier, Newman on the inside, job done. Pete Newman in 4th place there as well as he's coming up the inside. Gaps below a second here with Neve. I've got to be honest. There's James Neve. There's Anthony Jacobson. Gaps down to a second. How is this one going to pan out? Because Ed has got to try and stop Newman, Dan. And is he going to be able to do it accurately?
Well, Pete Newman has proven quick, especially in race 1. Well, the gap was 3 seconds there. Of course, was right on the back of Jamie Ayres, I think, at the end of that race. And once again, it's this battle that we continue with. Pete Newman on the outside now of Jamie Ayres. This is, I think, in 2. 7 and 8?
Yeah, 7 and 8 and 9.
A difficult section to go through side by side. They didn't do so, but they did slow each other down, and it has allowed Now Shannon Yates maybe going to run on Pete Newman again. Not quite able to do so. Pete Newman himself though now has a run on Jamie Ayres with that slipstream. Can he try something around the outside, maybe down the inside? Not quite able to do so. It is a tricky section, not too hard of a braking zone. So difficult to try something into there. It is just a little lift through there. On the grass though, Pete Newman on the right-hander. You don't want to be there too often because that is going to make a charge there. Now maybe it moved down the inside for Pete Newman. He's made it. He's made it down the inside. He's sold. Jamie Ayres to dummies. Jamie Ayres goes back though up the inside. And it has it out now. Pete Newman's bugged out a bit. And Shannon gets past as well.
Shannon Yates in the middle of a free. Newman, Shannon Yates. Jamie Ayres are going in. Kellerman. Oh, Shannon Yates backed out there with Newman and Ayres. But up front, Jacobson has been passed by. Who's he been passed by? I've lost
James Neve.
James Neve. Neve got past him as we were looking at the free wide there as well. And this is James Neve out in front currently at the moment, but these guys are still going at it. Newman and Ayres, this is the battle for third place, remember, here tonight. And Newman and Ayres is still battling away with Chenier, Kellerman, Cullinan, Hunt, Jacqueline. There is a strewn of cars, and they all want that last podium position. Jacobson has been overtaken here, Anthony Jacobson, by James Neve. This is James Neve's race to lose. But it's a 4-second gap from Newman to Jacobson. Craig Jones is in the pits, Roger Morton in the pits, Andy Littler's out.
Contact behind. Contact behind between Ayres and Owens. Miles Owens for P13 and 14. P4 though, in the AM class, there was contact between the two. You could hear and you could see it in the live pictures. Those two, that gap there was less than a tenth. Miles Owens, though, definitely lost out the most there. Was ahead, is now behind Ayres. And, well, that P4 has slipped away for him. Back to the battle at the front of the field. And I think Shannon has gone wide a bit, and around goes Ralph Cullinan.
No. Get it spun. Get it spun, he's coming. Darryl Wright's coming. Oh, Wright's gone as well. There's another position. Cullinan all the way down. He's 16th currently at the moment. Newman, Ayres, Chandonnier, Kellerman, Jacqueline, Elise Main. Where is the battles ever going to stop? Throughout race 2 here tonight for the UK SimRacers from Barber Motorsport, sponsored by Results Clothing. And what a battle we are having here with Daniel Hunt at the same time. Martin Sampson from the Optical Blue. Hunt going to go up the inside into turn 5. And that's job done there as well. But, whoa, it's getting spicy this late on, Dan.
Well, if you thought race 1 was some great action, race 2 definitely is even better than that. And at the front of the field, of course, Kellerman and Ayres fighting. Behind that, it's Main, Van Gool, Daniel Hunt, Sampson, Ayres, Hardy, all in a train. And all slipstreaming each other. Daniel Hunt now, the one going up to P10. Now ahead of him is Pete Van Gool, the one he needs to chase down. Sampson now on P11 fending off Ayres. And behind that, it's Hardy. Hardy gaining quite a lot of time the last couple of laps. We're back to the battle at the front of the field for P4 and 5. Chandonnier once again in the battle with Ayres. And Pete Newman, could he do it? 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. The gap is coming down rapidly to Jacobson. And the gap from Jacobson to Neve is only 1.2 seconds. So don't ride Pete Newman out for this win yet.
No, Newman's got 3.5 minutes remaining. Ayres is on the right, Chandonnier on the left as he's going down into turn 1. Ayres is going to try and go up the inside. He's
wide.
Yeah, the problem is he going to stop? But he did. And that's Jamie Ayres up into 4th place now. But then we got this battle here with PVG, Elise Main, Daniel Hunt, Martin Sampson, David Ayres, Carl Hardy, and at the front is Carl Jacqueline. This is the battle for 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. And there is just no let-up as the gaps open up the front of the field. Daniel Hunt there forces his way past Elise Main. What an absolute fly-in race 2, buddy. This is just going to be incredible.
This is amazing to see Daniel Hunt once again go past Elise Main. Van Gool now ahead of him. P9 for Daniel Hunt. I expected Daniel Hunt to come through the field a little bit quicker than he did, though. if you look at Pete Newman, who wasn't too far ahead of him, he's already in P3. So Danny Hunt has lost out a little bit when coming through the field. Not as quick in pointing his way through the field as Pete Newman was. This is the battle now for P5. Chardonnay has now finally lost the toe, I think, for Jamie Ayres to Jamie Ayres. Chardonnay, sadly for him though, that he lost the toe. Kellyman now the one behind him. Chardonnay, I have to say, is holding up pretty well here.
Yeah, I think he's doing a stellar job in the arms, and James Neve is the arm leading at the front at the moment. PVG is trying to clear Carl Jacklett, didn't get it done this time. Daniel Hunt is looking at coming up the inside now. Here we go again. Hunt is on the right, Van Gaal on the left in the Momo, white with yellow decals across the top. There's a slow runner on the left-hand side. I didn't see who that was. PVG goes wide. He's not going to stop either. Look at us. Oh, nearly into the side of Elise Main. Oh, how he got it wrong. Sampson's gone round. What is Sampson going to do? He hasn't got long. Oh, he's had to sit there. Oh, no. Mike Sampson sat there and waited, Dan.
Well, you don't want to be there, of course. That's on the racing line where the drivers are going to come through. And you do not want to be there, especially on that racing line. Miles Owens now a little bit further back from this fighting as well. There are battles all across this field. I don't know, James, where you would point the camera at, because there are so many battles here, just like in race 1. And Hardy now behind us trying to, well, he overtook Miles Owens before he, of course, got past, before he can get past. There's now not quite able to get close enough. There's one lap left. I think there's one more lap in it here, yeah. James.
I think we're going to have one more to go.
Where is it going to go here?
You're asking me, I haven't got a clue. Daniel Hunt's trying to make his way through Jacklett as well. Hunt looks at coming up the inside, manages to get it done this time around. He's going to be running around turn 15. Is he going to be able to get the outside for 16? He has, but can Jacklett on the inside line? He can. There's going to be contact. Hunt's on the grass. What's he going to do? He points the wheel straight. Manages to save it as we go on to the last lap now. James Neve, the one lap to go here this evening to take this victory as only the third AM driver ever. The third AM driver ever to take the victory overall. Join in Craig Jones, join in Mick Barry. James Neve is in an illustrious group of 3 here as we're coming towards the end of the race here. Daniel Hunt, PV and Gould, Carl Jacklett, Elise Main. They're all in the mix there, Dan. And it's just, where do you go? Look at them, they're strolling all over the track. Where do you go from here?
I wouldn't know. That's why I'm up here in the booth, and it's amazing to look at. Definitely behind that. Look at that though, behind Main. It is Ayres and Hardy fighting. Where can Carl Hardy place his car to try and get past behind that?
Main! That's Elise Main. Gone down to position, switch sliding around the grass. And Elise Main is slow and has lost it there as well. Chardonnay back up front has got Charles Kellerman literally less than 3 tenths behind. We are going to have the leader, James Neve, come across the line very, very shortly. As he goes around the final turn of turn 16, there is James Neve, only the third AM to ever take the overall victory in the UK SimRacers. Those others were done in MX5s. Neve did it in the Toyota. Kellerman did not get Chardonnay this time around. Jacklett did not get Daniel Hunt. Hunt held on to it. Miles Owens in 12th place there in the middle of the field. James Haddington from RWC chasing down Steve Hansford from Optical Green as well. These guys are wrapping it up as they come around the last corner. Haddington's trying. He's trying. Is he going to be able to get the run down onto the line? Haddington on the right. Hansford on the right, on the left. It's going to be Haddington. Haddington gets it by less than 0.091 of a second. James Haddington takes 16th place. Woo. Right, I need to lie down. Time to bed. I don't know. They brought it again, and we're in a completely different car, completely different series, and yet they're still bringing the action. It's like they've been in these cars constantly, Dan.
Yeah, unbelievable. You did see some more mistakes, though, in this second race. You saw that drivers got a little bit more comfortable with the car, and usually, or sometimes, when you get more comfortable with the car, it's dangerous to get more comfortable with the car because you do start pushing more, and it's easier to go over that edge where the car wants to be. But here we have it, the result from race 2. James Neve, only the third driver ever to win in the UK SimRacers leagues. This time he's done it in the Toyota GR86. Anthony Jacobson, let's not take anything away from him, James, because he has driven amazingly as well. Coming through in P2 overall as an AM driver is definitely not bad either. Pete Newman in P3 ahead of Jamie Ayres, the winner in the Pro class. Arnaud Chanonnier in P5, Charles Kellerman in P6 ahead of Daniel Hunt. Carl Jacqueline in P8, Pete Van Gool in P9, David Ayres in P10, Carl Hardy P11, Miles Owens P12, Elise Main P13, P14 for Ralph Cullen, Darrell Wright P15, Jason Haddington in P16, Steve Hansford P17, Dale Bennison P18, Martin Sampson P19, Andy Littler P20, Craig Jones in P21, Colin Sansom in P22, and Roger Morton in P23. James, I think that going off from these first two races, race 3 is definitely going to be an even better one.
Absolutely. Puck, you're late. Where you been? Welcome in, Dan there, Sedgley as well. Evening, guys. This looks epic. Well, it was absolutely incredible. You joined right at the end of race 2. What's going to happen now, guys, is why we changed sessions. We're going to jump back onto the BRB screen, and we will be right back very, very shortly. Okay guys, we are back for race 3. I am James Parfitt and I'm joined by Daan Pepels for the UK SimRacers Round 1 live from Barber Motorsport Race 3, sponsored by Results Clothing. And I think, Dan, well, after the first 2 races, this third race is just going to be absolutely insane. I just can't get over this. Colin Sansom forgot that there was 2 races in one session and left the session and wasn't able to get back in. So hopefully he will be back on track with us. I know, what more could we ask for? But I think it's just going to be crazy again. Like, you know, we go into race 3 and it's insane, isn't it, what they've managed to do with this car so far?
Well, they're showing us exactly the same as they did with the MX5. It's great racing, it's close racing, it's fair fighting, which is the most important, I think, in whatever race you do. If the fighting is not fair, the racing won't be fun either. So that's the most important thing, and that's what these drivers did, definitely. And, well, I don't think we expected anything else from them.
No. It's the normal story, isn't it, really, of the UK SimRacers. So if you do enjoy this one, guys, please come and join us. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the bells for notifications, and don't forget to give the video a big old thumbs up. This week, we've got 3 broadcasts going out on Thursday. The Radical Race Series returns for their 22-23 season with a new format starting at Laguna Seca. The TSRC returns there as well with Zach Sweeney from Indianapolis. And then we've got the Crest Autosport Touring Championship with Biggles and Dan on Thursday evening. We've then got the UTC on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we've got the IGL Cash Cup from Sebring as well. So yeah, there's lots going on the JPB YouTube channel this week, so come along, get involved. It's going to be absolutely amazing. If you are here, guys, don't forget to say hi as well. We don't bite. Well, Dan does at weekends, but that's a different story. But
what's that then all about, James? Well, tell me more.
You know, I can't, Dan. It's a PG stream. We can't tell them what you've been up to over at the weekends. But you know, hey-o, if the shoe fits and all that, and I think it's I mean, you got to admit though, I think these guys are not disappointing, and I think we're in for an even bigger race 3 and race 4. We do need to change sessions after race 4, guys, as well. This is a complete random reverse, okay? So this is be a random reverse grid here this evening. So we can't tell you what the reverse will be. It will be a complete and utter random reverse at the moment. So stay tuned.
Well, is it really reverse if the grid is random? Is it not just a random grid?
I don't know. They've documented it as random reverse. So, you know, I'm only going...
Oh! Well, that's what we saw coming, I think, in race 2. That's what you expected to happen when Pete van Gool went on the grass, and that's what I think everyone expected. But yeah, it happened there, and that's what you see can happen when you do touch the grass on the right-hand side.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm excited for race 3. I think it's good to see the car in full effect. You know, we've had a couple of races with this car now. We've seen what it could do. Clearly, it does a lot, and clearly, it does it at the hands of the likes of James Neve, Pete Newman, Roger Morton, Charles Kellerman, you know, Jamie Ayres, PVG. They're all getting to grips with this car, and I think in this over the next couple of weeks, and especially in maybe in the next 2 races tonight, I think you're going to see some even closer action because everybody's starting to get to grips with the car over in general.
I think the further we go into this season, I think we saw it as well last season. Of course, don't forget, James, the MX5 had a complete redo of all the physics and the tire model. So it basically got a complete new regulation of the car. And they had to get used to that as well. And we saw when the further we got on into the season, the more used to the cars the drivers got. And I think that's going to be exactly the same story here with these Toyotas as well.
Yeah, absolutely as well, guys, as well. So we're waiting for the grid to appear from race 3. These guys are now going to be looking at coming onto the grid very, very shortly. Dan, off you go.
Well, then it will be David Ayres in P1 ahead of Darrell Wright in P2, Carl Jacquelin in P3, Ralph Cullen in P4, Charles Kellyman P5, Arnaud Chanonnier in P6, Miles Owens P7, Roger Morton P8, Jamie Ayres P9, P10 for Pete Newman, Anthony Jacobson in P11, P12 for Pete Van Gool, James Neve P13, Danny Hunt P14, Carl Hardy P15, Del Benison P16, 17 Elise Main, 18 Jason Haddington, and I'm too slow.
Too slow. Hansford, Littler, Tanson, Sampson. Here we go. Race 3 is underway. David Ayres does get off the line very, very slowly. Carl Jacquelin takes the lead early on again in race 3. Here we go. Carl Jacquelin's got an absolute flyer. Miles Owens is in the mix as well, along with Charles Callanan, Chanonnier, Ayres, Newman, Morton, Neve, Van Gool. This battle for the free wide action here early on in this race. We go on the right rear arch of Miles Owens, looking back at Jamie Ayres, Arnaud Chanonnier, Ralph Cullinan in front of him, Newman, Morton behind him. And again, race 3 got away cleanly currently at the moment.
Well, what a start there from Carl Jacquelin. And there's someone around the front of the field. That's, I think, Jamie Ayres who's around.
David Ayres, excuse
me. 2 Ayres now with us. Different spelling though, but happy to get used to that. But he's around. Charles Kellyman is now on P3 behind Darrell Wright. Chanonnier in P4, Cullen in P5, Newman P6, and Miles Owens in P7. That's our top 7, and of course Roger Morton then rounds off the top 8. Miles Owens trying to get past Pete Newman. Can he do so? Does he want to do so? Because he knows Pete Newman is fast. Yes, he does. He's still side by side with Pete Newman. He's going to carry it around the outside. There's contact between the two, and they both go off the track. Miles Owens is still in the grass. Can he get it back onto the apron? No, he can't. Now he's going to come back, but he lost so many positions with that. That off-track excursion lost him so many positions. Well, let's just say that was contact that I think at some point we knew was going to happen through that section.
Yeah, but you got to give Miles Owens a shout. He kept that car going. Most people would have lost that car. Miles Owens kept it going. Chanonnier and Ralph Cullinan, now Cullinan on the inside. He's got to send it out the inside there for the Results Clothing iRacing team over the RWC Racing of Chanonnier. And I think, well done. You've got to give Miles Owens props there. He kept the car going in a straight line at least.
Well, I always give Miles Owens some grief, but there he actually deserved some props to to keep that car going in a straight line. I think many would have lost it a little bit. Oh, that was so late from Channonnier there. And Cullinan almost got tagged by him. Roger Morton tried to get past Arnaud Channonnier. Not quite able to do so because he braked so late into 5. And I thought he was going to touch Cullinan. Not quite did so, luckily for Cullinan and Channonnier. But yeah, I have to say, Miles Owens, great job to keep that car going.
Yeah, absolutely there as well. I'd like to point out that Craig Jones is in YouTube chat, not on the racetrack. You might want to fill me in and tell me more, Mr. Jones, because I'm not quite sure why you are there and not here. But Newman and Ayres are having a battle again as these guys coming round turn 12 before they go around on that long run around 13. Here down into 14, and at the moment, oh, Newman, Ayres, Neve, 3 very quick drivers in the mix of the battle and away with Roger Morton, another quick driver, and poor old Channonnier has got them all coming. And for his sake, I don't like to think how that one's going to turn out, but Cullinan is trying to go up the inside of Kellerman. Ralph Cullinan.
And Steve, I think, oh, he went so quick into turn 1 on the exit. I thought he was going to run onto the grass, but does manage to, well, keep it pointing in the right direction, and he got past Charles Kellerman, and now Charles Kellerman is dropping back down into the clutches of Channonnier. James, Channonnier does look like he's a really quick here in this car.
Yeah, he's doing such a stellar job. Morton is flying. Morton has gone past Newman, he's gone past Ayres, he's gone past Neve, he's got Channonnier in front of him now as well. Can anybody hold back the arm of Roger Morton? There's a swap up front with Cullinan as well. Ralph Cullinan's got the pedal to the metal of this car and is now up into second place.
Contact in the back! Contact in the back there, James. Sorry to cut you off between Channonnier and between Morton and Neve, I think, and Channonnier. There was contact between those 2 or 3, and they're still side by side. They do manage to get single file now. Off, I think, is Pete Van Gool in the background. He was off to the grass, got a little bit too out of shape there through turn 10 and 11. And he paid the price for that. But yeah, there was contact between the 2. Jamie Ayres now getting all sideways. This is all kicking off here. Also contact between Honda, I think, Pete Newman. Newman is out worse of the 2 there, but it's all kicking off here, James.
Yeah, in the middle of this field, this pack is so quick. Morton, Neve, Ayres, Hardy,
Neve off!
Channonnier's off! Oh, Channonnier's into the barrier. He's gone off as well. That just leaves Neve, Ayres, Hunt, Newman, Morton, Hardy, VG. Oh, there's battles on here as well. Craig Jones has given up for the night. Can't go on with the car, going to sit this one out. You better get your butt on the practice track, Mr. Jones, and I better see you next Tuesday. But Hunter's gone up the inside of Ayres. Newman's trying to move up as well. Contact!
Oh no!
Kellerman's in the air! Charles Kellerman's on his roof. You can imagine his crew chief. It's only available the better way. Oh! Slight contact with Andy Littler. Charles Kellerman upside down, giving up. Carl Jacklett, Cullinan. Jacklett's holding on to first position. Only just is Cullinan going to come through. Ralph Cullinan, the Irishman. He doesn't have blood. He's filled with Guinness. And Cullinan now is on the grass. Here we are in cutting grass with him. Can he keep it on track? He can, but he's got James Neve closing right up. Oh, Cullinan and Neve battling out for 4th and 5th. Jacklett, Morton, right. Your front 3 currently at the moment. Can't park there, son. No, definitely cannot for Charles Kellerman. As he's on his roof, Dan, and race 3 kicking off. Big style. Jason Haddington has gone round. The RWC Racing Boys not having a good race 3 currently at the moment. He's dropped all the way down the field. But back up front, Jacklett, right at Morton. Absolutely flying. A Pro 2AMs in the top 3 alone here, Dan. What an incredible race.
Well, I have to say, it does look like once the AMs are at the front of the field, they can fend off the pros really well. Neve now going maybe up the inside of Cullinan to try and re-overtake him. Can he do so? Yes, he can. Down the inside of 5. Beautiful move by James. Neve makes that one stick. Now he needs to get the exit onto 7, 8, and 9. Because you don't want to go through there side by side at the front of the field. No, Jacqueline under attack from Darrell Wright. Darrell Wright, though, the AM, could he become the 4th to win a race overall as AM driver?
Maybe he'll be joining an illustrious list of Craig Jones, James Neve, and Mick Barry, the first ever AM at Interlagos there as well. But currently Morton, Wright, Jacqueline battling away, Neve, Cullinan, Newman, they're all going to get involved in this. And car number 18, which is Steve Hansford, has gone off track. He's currently sat there at the moment. Up front though, it is Jacqueline, it is Morton, it is Neve, it is Cullinan, and no way through, I don't think, for any of these guys currently at the moment, Dan. And I cannot see this going any other way apart from an 8-car scrap, which they're all coming down the start-finish straight now. Straight past us goes Jacqueline, Wright, and Morton, and yet they're still battling it away. This is going to go either way. Morton's going up the inside of
Contact between teammates. That's what you never want to see. The first rule of racing, James, never make contact with your teammate. And, well, the two boys from the Safeguard by Result team failed to do so there.
Yeah, they didn't quite get the memo. But then again, Cullinan's gone round in the middle of the corner. Ralph Cullinan's round, Newman's off. Newman's off, and Hunt. Oh, what a race. Newman's all the way down in 9th place. Daniel Hunt all the way in 7th. And an absolute Daniel. I don't think Daniel Hunt's got a bonnet currently on that car. He hasn't. But he is there in 7th place at this moment in time. With Ralph Cullinan all the way down in 11th now, chasing Pete Van Gaal. With Carl Jacqueline still out in front, Dan. And that was a big one. And those were big people that left that race then. Newman, Ayres, Hunt, all off track at the same time.
Well, Miles Owens, of course, dropped down at the or at the beginning of this race. We saw him have that off-track moment where he managed to keep the car pointing in the right direction. He was fighting with Wright, Neve, and Jacqueline, and well, those 3 are now at the front of the field, and Miles Owens has basically caught them up once again. So what it might could have been for him if he could have stayed up there with those 3. He might have been in that battle for the lead now. Wright, though, still in the battle with Carl Jacqueline. Can he keep up to the gap now? Up to a second. And it looks like once that gap has got up to 1.2, he's dropped out of the slipstream. Well, then he will actually start to lose a lot. But he's got back within that second.
Yeah, he has. Jamie Ayres has got a very battered looking Toyota currently. He's got no bonnet. The front is smashed. And he's still going with the battle with Anthony Jacobson, Pete Van Gaal, Ralph Cullinan, Pete Newman, all behind him currently. Look at Ayres' car. It is gone. There's no bonnet on it at all. Pete Van Gaal got up the inside of Jacobson currently. Cullinan's looking at coming through as well. Littler is looking at getting up the back of Hannington at the moment. And up front, Darrell Wright, Carl Jacqueline, James Neve are battling it away here for the first 3 places, and race 3 has gone off in a way that we've expected here tonight, and it's now Pete Van Gaal chasing down Jamie Ayres.
Well, where have we seen this before, James? I think last season in the MX5, this was all the time this battle was on, and they're back once again at it here in the Toyotas. Pete Van Gaal now to the outside, Jamie Ayres to the inside. Jamie Ayres with, well, a smashed up car, no bonnet on that car. Well, Pete Van Gaal gets the worst of it, and now Cullinan is past Pete Van Gaal as well. Got a little bit out of shape there, a little bit of a snap of oversteer for Pete Van Gaal. That was enough to allow Ralph Cullinan to come through there, and he's now up into P8. He can now chase down Jamie Ayres at the front of the field, though. Neve and Wright switching positions for the lead there in the AM class. Neve has now finally got past Wright and now can chase down Carl Jacqueline at the front of the field. Could he do it again?
Well, this is the 3rd race of the evening. 3 minutes left on the clock. Carl Jacklett in front currently from James Neve, from Darrell Wright. These three are going to be having this battle for 2 minutes, 51 seconds on the clock. Stay tuned, guys, because this race 3 is going off in a big old way. Neve on the left, Jacklett on the right. Jacklett doesn't take prisoners, but Neve, new to the series this evening, sends it out the inside and takes the lead. Is Jacklett going to be able to come through? Neve's got in deep. Neve's got in deep. That's allowed Jacklett to close right back up at the back end of him again with Darrell Wright. Roger Morton. Oh, Miles Owens there. Carl Hardy. That was a bit of a bizarre one. What happened to Carl Hardy? Yeah, he seemed to hit the brakes. It was really quite weird. Oh, okay.
Oh, he did well then to keep that going.
Yeah.
And Miles Owens did well to avoid that.
Yeah, that'd be why that ended up as it did there. But Carl Jacklett back up front, being chased by Darrell Wright. Darrell Wright, the arm in the front with Neve as well. How is this one going to pan out? We're going to have, are they going to get across the line? They are, I believe, quick enough. They're not going to be on the last lap as of yet. They've got one more to do. I think they made it by about 10 seconds, if that. But James Neve here is absolutely flying currently at the moment. So keep an eye on this battle here with Neve and Jacklett back up front as these guys coming into turn 5. Neve parks his car in the middle there, Dan. Do you see it? He kind of gave Jacklett no choice but to go the way he did, because James Neve parked it in the middle of the track and turned around and said, sorry, son, it's not going to happen. So Neve there, positioning his car very, very smartly there, Dan. I think that was the interesting thing about that.
Well, he left in just enough room for Jacklett if he wanted to go for that move to get there. But that is, well, Jacklett all out of shape right now, getting past him as well. And we have, once again, just like last time, 2 AMs leading the field.
Yeah, we do currently with James Neve and Darrell Wright. Carl Jacklett in the 3rd. Carl Hardy is chasing down Miles Owens, who's in 4th place currently at the moment. Elise Main in a wonderful 6th there. Pete Van Gogh having a battle with Pete Newman and Anthony Jacobson. Newman's going to try and come around the outside going into turn 10. That's not going to work there, I've got to be honest for them, gentlemen. But currently at the moment, James Neve is going to come across the line and take the white flag. PVG, Pete Newman. Oh, the corner's so long. Painfully long. White flag lap, Darrell Wright, Carl Jacklett side by side going into turn 1. That's Darrell Wright out in front at the moment. But how is this one going to end?
Big snap. Big snap for Jacklett in the background. That has allowed Owens and Hardy to close up again. I don't think those two, while fighting, can close up 3.5 seconds. It's going to be these 3 at the front of the field fighting it out for that lead. Neve has a little bit of a gap to Wright and Jacklett. Jacklett going to try go down the inside of Wright. Went really deep. Wright almost making contact with Jacklett. Luckily for both of them, they didn't make contact. But Jacklett trying everything in his power to get past Wright and to try and catch Neve. But Neve has that second of a gap almost.
Yeah, I think it's going to be James Neve's victory. I'm not going to put down who's going to have 2nd or 3rd here, because I think it could be Darrell Wright or Carl Jacklett. But Pete Newman is having a battle in the background. You'll see him come through very, very shortly. There's Newman and Van Gogh. They're having their own little battle as well, but we're going to try and keep an eye on this 2nd place battle. 10 laps done. Last lap incoming right now. And at the moment, it's James Neve out in front. Darrell Wright in 2nd. 2 AMs at the top of the field. And that, I've got to be honest, is a stellar job by them guys.
That is, well, let's say job well done. Down the inside though goes Jacklett on right. Can't quite make it. Jacklett, I know, all right is wide. I think Neve comes through to win. Once again, Jacklett in 2nd and Wright. That's a run down to the line. But Jacklett in the end got it because Wright went off track. Owens finished 4th in the overall standings and 3rd in the AM class. But what a race once again. James Cullen coming across the line as well. Ayres behind that, Haddington as well. Wow.
Another absolute incredible job from these guys for the end of race 3. I think you're going to have to admit, let's go Miles. He got 4th place this time. Did Miles Owens. So a stellar job from him.
Normally, if you would finish 4th as an AM, you would be close to winning in that class, but not today, it seems like.
No, it seems like there's a good old group of competition here in the AMs. And I think if James Neve carries on as he is, I don't think it's going to be long before the guys turn around and say, yeah, you're moving up there as well. But there is the grid down. Take us for the final finishing positions. Take us through it.
Well, then here we have it. James Neve is once again the one who wins here in race 3. Carl Jacqueline in P2. Ahead of Darrell Wright, the man finishing 2nd in the AM class. Ahead of Miles Owens, the man finishing 4th overall, but 3rd in the AM class. Carl Hardy in P5. Elise Main, Lioness in P6. Pete Van Gool in P7 ahead of Pete Newman. Anthony Jacobson in P9 ahead of Ralph Cullinan, who is ahead of David Ayres in P11. Jason Haddington in P12. Martin Sampson in P13. Colin Sansom in P14. Ahead of Jamie Ayres in P15. Dale Bennison P16. Steve Hansford P17. Andy Littler P18. Roger Morton P19. Daniel Hunt P20. Charles Kellyman P21. And Arnaud Chanonnier in P22.
Yeah, absolutely, guys, as well. And in reference to that Ivan Bramer, don't forget, this season of the UkSimracers Toyota GR86 Winter Series is sponsored by Results Clothing. Results work guard, dependable, coordinated outwear that provides durability to those who rely heavily on their clothing outwork. Work smart, foster workforce unity, and sharpen customer confidence by using work guard clothing. Work clever, rely on work guard garment design and technical fabrics to keep your workforce comfortable throughout their working day. Available in a wide range of sizes and colours, textures and finishes. Work guard by Result will enhance the image, credibility and the price of any professional tradesman from head to toe. Find them at shop.resultsclothing.com. That would be absolutely incredible. So guys, that is the end of race 3. We once again have got to change over sessions. So again, we will back very, very shortly. All right, guys, we are back for race 3. Miles Owens, yes, there is one more race here this evening as well. And why we are here getting ready and waiting for race 3, let's have a chat to the one and only Carl Jacklett. Good evening, Mr. Jacklett. How are you?
Good evening. Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
That was all right, wasn't it? Second place?
Yeah. You see that pass to get back second?
Oh, we did.
Yeah, very pleased with that.
Yeah,
it was a bit brave.
Well, it was, but bravery pays off. How are you getting on with the car? Tell us about your experiences so far.
Really, really struggled at first, then discovered that you've got to rev the arse off it. I was losing power. That's made a big difference. Playing around with tyre pressures at the moment, that seems to be making a bit of a difference. But it's a challenging car. When it goes, you've got to be really quick to catch it. So yeah, it's challenging. It will bite you.
But are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Loving it.
And that is literally all that matters, isn't it, really? We're back for a new season. What's your plans for the winter season? You know, because we're only in a one-shot deal this season. We're not going 3. We're going 1. What's the Carl Jacklett plan of attack?
Try and keep out of trouble. It seems to stick to me like a magnet.
Yeah, well, you've done better than you did last year anyway.
Yeah.
So that's always good. But, you know, are you going for the win? What do you think? Because we've got some quick drivers now. James Neve has really proven that he's very fast, and I could probably see him being promoted after race 3, after round 3 into the pros, to be honest, if he carries on this pace. But what are you aiming for?
Just a decent result and to enjoy it. I've been struggling a lot with mental health lately, and just recently I seem to be coming up a bit. So hopefully that will help.
Well, yeah, we'll go into race 3 for race 4. Positive attitude. Don't take any risks, and you'll get yourself a nice little finish, right? And if you go and take a risk, just go, what would James say? Right? And then stop yourself, Carl. Just go nice and sensible.
Yeah, absolutely. Bring it home is the most important thing. You don't get points sat in the pits.
Exactly. Exactly. But that's the plan. Got to get the points on the board.
That is the plan. Trying to keep out of trouble and get some finishes.
Yeah, absolutely, Carl. Well, mate, we're going to let you go. Got about a minute left of practice, and hopefully we'll see a nice Carl Jacklett finish in race 4.
I hope so. I was hoping for the win in that one, but that didn't quite happen.
James was so quick, wasn't he? He's got this car nailed, to be honest, but I'm sure you will do a stellar job, mate, and I look forward to seeing what you can do.
Awesome.
Take care, buddy.
Cheers, mate.
Well, there you go, Dan. That's Carl Jacklett. He's upbeat about the situation. You know, 2.5 minutes remaining of practice. We must be on a 9-minute practice. I think they must have brought it down. What do we think race 4 is going to bring us down? Because, to be honest, race 3 was absolutely chaotic. And I don't see race 4 being any different.
Well, let's just say, James, that race 4 usually, as we know, and I don't know how many times we've got to say this, it's usually the most chaotic one.
Yes.
And if race 1, 2, and 3 is anything to go by, I don't want to know what race 4 has installed for us, because if we go off race 1, 2, and 3, it's going to be a battle from P1 all the way down to P22.
Right. Well, there you go. Dan said it, guys, as well. So much love if you are here for this evening. Don't forget to give the video a big old thumbs up. Subscribe. Turn on the bells for notifications, because we've got some great racing coming up this week. You're going to be spoiled on Thursday. You've got 3 broadcasts on Thursday to pick from, all around about the same time. And we've got a relaunch of the Radical Race Series as well, live from Laguna Seca, a new format. Come and get involved in that, because, I can't say any more. But let's just put it this way. 2 races. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. So get ready for that one, because that's going to be absolutely amazing. Right, 1:24 on the clock left here tonight. And we've got drivers out on testing. Carl Hardy is one of them, alongside James Neve there as well. Okay, a minute left. Where's your money going on race 4? I'm not going to tell. We don't know the grid, so where's it going?
Well, it's a bit boring to say James Neave again. I would say, and you might say I'm biased here, but for the AM class, I'm going to say Miles Owens because he's been quick all day, and he hasn't had the luck yet. And for the pros, I'm going to say Elise Main.
All right, Roger Morton for the AMs because I think he deserves one, as does Ralph Cullinan in a pro. So Morton or Cullinan, that's my two. Let us know your pick, guys, as well in the YouTube chat. Let us know who you are thinking about winning here for the AMs and the pros. They are marked by the blue and the yellow. So get your decisions in. Hashtag the drivers. Let us know which one as well you think is going to win. But I'm going for Morton and Cullinan. Dan's going for Owens and Main.
You make me reconsider now.
Well, I can't. No, it's done. Your vote's locked in. Right, the grid will be up, Dan. You're going to have to go for it this time, son, not doodle.
Okay, then.
All right. Craig has said not Ralph. And Miles has said pick somebody else, Dan, please.
Oh, okay, then. Yeah, that's why I wanted to reconsider. I know. Well, right, waiting on the grid. There's the grid. Jamie Ayres at P1, Dale Bettis at P2, David Ayres P3, Anthony Jacobs for P4, Carl Jack at P5, Carl Hardy P6, Steve Hans for P7, Martin Sampson P8, Arnaud Chardonnier in P9, Daniel Hunt P10, Pete Van Gool P11, Charles Kellyman P12, P13 for Miles Owens, P14 Pete Newman, Roger Morton P15, Jason Addington in P16, Ralph Cullinan P17, Darrell Wright P18, James Neave P19, Colin Sansom in P20, Elise May in P21, and Andy Littler in P22. That's the grid for you for race. For who?
Right, here we go. We're on pole. Steve Hansford and Dale Benison leading us away. We got one. Where are they? There they are. 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's Steve Hansford getting off the line cleanly currently at the moment. Hansford, Ayres, Benison. Sanson's in there as well. So is Martin Sampson. And it's Ayres leading us away. He's got an absolute barnstormer. Oh, there's big swapping in the middle. PVG and Arnaud Chardonnier have hit each other, and unfortunately they're down the back of the field. It's actually James Hannington and Pete Van Gool there as well, but it's Steve Hansford currently from pole to third in a matter of a few corners, Dan, and well, kind of didn't get away as cleanly as we'd hoped.
Oh, at the front of the field though, Jamie has got a big snap on. Managed to keep it going in a straight line though, but lost a lot of time with that out of 5. Dale Benison though, oh, contact in the back between Pete Newman and Sansom, and it's all off. It's all going off in the middle of the field. Who gets through there and who doesn't? It seems like Pete Newman is involved. Ayres is involved. Littler was he involved as well? Haddington was definitely involved in the earlier one. But Pete Newman, here we go. Got a little bit of a snap on. I don't know who did what. Oh, is that Sansom?
Yeah.
Sansom coming over to the right, and then it all kicks off.
Oh, Ayres just narrowly missed it. Main has got dropped down the order. He says, come on, please. Thank you. Elise Main has dropped down into 21st. She's gone off as well. It's all going off in race 4. But Dale Benison back up front here, down as well.
What can Dale Benison do this time round? Jamie Ayres, though, is the one who at the moment is leading this race. Sampson in P3 for the Pro class. Cullinan in P4. Steve Hansford in P5. P2 actually in the AM class, and P6 for Neave, for James Neave and P3 in the AM class. So the top 6, there's all a top 3 from every class. Neave, though, of course, wants to try and maybe make it a triple here in the AM class.
Yeah, absolutely. Sampson is just gone up the inside of Dale Benison. Cullinan is on his way through as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what Ralph Cullinan can do here this evening and get that victory for me, Ralph. Come on, buddy. You got this. And there as well. Where is my AM pick? He's down in 12th place at the moment, and that's Roger Morton. Oh, Steve Hansford. That's not a way to take the corner, my dear.
Well, it is a way, not the quickest though.
No, I think Pete Newman may have caught himself up in some incidents as well. Chandelier fighting away with Jacobson. Chandelier is through. There is Owens. He's battling out with Carl Hardy at the moment, sitting in the middle of the field. Neve up 12, Cullinan 4, Sampson 3, Air 2, Hunt 12, Chandelier 13. That is some gainers there, bud, and that is incredible.
Yeah, that is, but I'm going to have to immediately after that start apologize to Elise Main that I picked her as the pro winner. You can see Elise Main all the way down at P22 in the pit lane. So well, I'm sorry, Elise.
Cullinan is in third. Now setting after Martin Sampson. My pick, Ralph Cullinan for the pros in third. Darrell Wright is having a battle here. Look at this with Steve Hansford and also Colin Sansom. Darrell Wright looking at the inside of Hansford. Hansford cuts his nose off, says not today. Back up front, Dale Bennison is trying to hold back James Neve as long as he can as these guys battling it out. Round turn 6 at the moment, but Jamie Ayres has got Martin Sampson tucked up right behind him here as well in this GR86. This evening, race 4, UkSimracers are live from Barber Motorsports Park, sponsored by Results Clothing this evening.
Jamie Ayres holding off Martin Sampson, Ralph Cullinan in P3. Not too far back, 2 seconds is the gap. That is easily, that is easy to close up in 10 minutes, especially if those guys at the front of the field start fighting. Sampson had a little look, not quite able to do anything about it. We're looking at Bennison now, who has Miles Owens behind him. Miles Owens made that move while we're going through there. And, well, Bennison is now off the track. Was that maybe a moment on the grass for Dale Bennison where he braked a little bit too late? Could well be. It's a tricky section there. That long right-hander. He's down into P8 now. P3 still though for him in the AM class.
1.4 seconds from Sampson and Cullinan. Hardy set the fastest lap of the race on a 1:36.690 currently at the moment. Daniel Hunt is climbing all over the back here as whoa, that's Miles Owens. Miles Owens, I'm wondering if that may have involved Daniel Hunt, and was that under his own steam? Oh no, there was 2 involved. Ouch. Daniel Hunt and Miles Owens there.
I'm sorry, Miles.
Yeah, you didn't do well on your picks here, mate. James Neve is now in third. Cullinan is now second. Hardy fourth. Bennison fifth. Chandelier in 6th. But it's now Hardy and Neve. Hardy on the left, Neve on the right. They're battling away here. Hardy's got the lead currently at the moment. He's going down into turn 10 and 11. They're going to run it side by side. Neve on the left, Hardy on the right. And it's going to be Hardy through over by safeguard by result over JN Racing there as well of James Neve. Van Gaal is also in the mix here with Charles Kellerman and also Anthony Jacobson. Nick Van Gaal on the left. Oh, he makes it through as well. I'd like to point out that both of your picks, Dan, are in YouTube chat. Elise Main and Miles Owen, who you picked for the AMSA Pros, are both sat in YouTube chat. I'd like to point that out right now, yeah?
I apologize to both of them.
Well, I think you need to do a lot more than that.
Well, why is it always when I pick someone that they either get unlucky, and that if you pick someone that either doesn't happen or you get it right?
Well, that's good. It's just difference, isn't it, Dan? It's the way, as our very own Craig Jones said, you know, it's the difference between
on the better cursor.
It's the difference between being a pro and an am, isn't it? You know, you're the am, I'm the pro. Told you. Okay. You don't. Okay. You gotta know where your money lies. But currently, Steve Hansford is definitely getting all the usage out of this Barber track, as is Darrell Wright and Carl Jacqueline currently at the moment. Sampson's all the way down there. Hey.
Yeah, I'm questioning how has that happened.
Well, this, I think.
Is that on himself?
Oh,
yeah. touches
yes.
the grass by.
Oh! Martin Sampson has got to be annihilating himself in that car currently at the moment. So there we go. Elise Main, all DMs open to Daan Pepels, looking for slander or compensation claims. Can hit him up in the UK SimRacers Discord. There is Ralph Cullen. Sorry, Dan, I couldn't help it. You shouldn't do that. You know what I mean?
Well, you made me. You made me do it.
How did I make you do it? Tell me.
You said who are your picks, so you made me pick someone.
You're the one who picked Elise Main and Miles Owens, and you cursed both of them. Charles Kellerman, Pete Newman, battling away, round turn 2 and 3. On that run down into 4, here we go now. Newman's got to be looking at having to go on the inside. He is. Here he goes. Newman on the left, Kellerman on, well, they've swapped now. Newman on the right, Kellerman on the left. And here we go, round this corner, turn 5. Newman up into 8th place there as well. The battle up front is getting hotter. It's come down below a second now. Because James is the boss, says Phil as well. David Ayres has chat. Thoroughly enjoyed this evening. Mason, thank you so much, guys. More practice required. Yeah, you could get Craig Jones on track with you as well, David. He clearly needs more practice in the car. So maybe you and Craig can get a results claiming session. Sorry, David, I was trying to do it with a straight face. It didn't quite work out, did it, really? But PVG, Newman, and also Arnold Chenonnier. Well, Dan, you settled down a little bit in race 4 now, I've got to be honest. And what an epic evening of racing it's been so far with this new Toyota.
Well, I think we can safely say that this new series, even though we've switched cars, it is still the same amount of racing, and it's still the same racing, and it still produces the same amount of action. So I don't think we have to be worried that it's going to be a boring season. I think you never have to be worried about that here at the UK SimRacers, because, well, it seems like no matter what they put on, it always produces some amazing action.
Dan, Ralph Cullen in 2nd place. Chasing down Jamie Ayres.
I know.
Here we go on this run down into turn 7. Carl Hardy is in the mix as well. Ayres is losing time, and he's losing time rapidly here with Ralph Cullinan. Oh, Ayres, Cullinan, Hardy. How is this one going to work out here for these guys? And at the moment, Ralph Cullinan is in 2nd place. And I say at the moment because Carl Hardy is tucked up right behind him. And I'm not going to lie, Hardy does look quick tonight. It's going to be interesting to see how this one kicks off, because these guys beforehand, before the session was open and we were having a chat in the practice at the beginning before race 1, Cullinan was giving Hardy a bit of grief. So if Hardy puts one over him, I can guarantee in that results chat there's a lot going on about now. So yeah, let's see how this one pans out between these one. Ayres goes in a little bit hot there and is closed. Cullinan right up back end of him at the moment. Car number 32, Ralph Cullinan closing down on Jamie Ayres there, Dan. I think it's only a matter of time as we've got about 3 minutes remaining.
Well, this is amazing to see this battle for the lead. Jamie Ayres and Ralph Cullinan and Carl Hardy, all three fighting for that leading position. Jamie Ayres at the moment the one leading this race. Ralph Cullinan looking really quick, looking punchy here. Maybe looking the quickest of the three on the grass. There is Jamie Ayres. We have seen that going wrong a couple of times this evening. Luckily for Jamie Ayres, this time it doesn't. On the inside is Jamie Ayres. Cullinan on the outside. He has to watch out that Hardy doesn't get him on a cutback, and he does. Hardy gets him on the cutback, has a better record. They're side by side now into 7, 8, and 9. Where's this one going to go, James?
It's going to go Ralph Cullinan's way. He's going to be chasing down in Jamie Ayres, still tucked up right behind him at the moment. But Hardy there with Cullinan and Ayres. This is your current top 3. Newman and Bennison are side by side here as well. Bennison's got the inside line. Is this going to be space left for Pete Newman? It is. And Newman now manages to hold on currently at the moment. But back up front is Cullinan. It's Newman. Cullinan Hardy and Ayres battling it away. And well, Dan, they've only got 2 laps remaining, mate. This could be absolutely incredible.
Well, like it has been all day long, and let's just say, James, that race 4 didn't disappoint. Of course, you saw some chaos, you saw action, and we're still seeing action here at the front of the field. And where else do you want it than for that first place? A little bit of a wiggle there from Jamie Ayres to say, well, I'm not settled down yet. There is still a possibility, of course, that something can go wrong here. 2 laps left. We say this in endurance races, but also in sprint races, this is true. Still 2 laps to go, still a lot that can happen. Here we have the pros and the AMs. Neve leading, of course, in the AM class. Channonier in second, Benison in third. The front 3, though, still looking the same as it did 3 laps ago. Ayres in front, Cullen in second, Hardy in P3. Neve, though, not quite able to catch up. Cullen once again goes for it. Hardy doesn't get him on a cut back this time. Gets the better exit over Jamie Ayres. Tugs back into that slipstream. Not quite able to be close enough to try something into 7. Not really a corner where you do want to try it, James.
No, definitely not in 7 and 8. This is it now, coming on to near enough the final lap of this race here tonight. We've got Jamie Ayres, Ralph Cullinan battling away. We've got Pete Newman, Arnold Channonier having a battle into 7 as well. Channonier still manages to hold on currently at the moment, but PVG is there as well. Pete Newman, sorry, is trying to come back on the outside. He's on the left. Is he going to run him around the outside into turn 10 and 11? Pete Newman has made it through. Back up front. Here we go. This is going to be the final lap of the race with these guys down. The final 3. Can Cullinan take that victory? Can he do it? Can Morton climb up 6 places in the end of the sake of 1 lap? Optimism. Optimism. That's all you can say. Cullinan's got to close it up. He's 4 tenths out at the moment. Last lap of the race. Here we go.
Well, where is he going to do it? That's the question. He's not quite close enough anywhere, really, to try and make that pass. Ayres is making that Toyota as wide as possible, and I think as wide as anyone has made it. Neve did a great job on doing that as well, but Jamie Ayres definitely can do so as well. 5 tenths is the gap now. He's not close enough to try anything. He's not even close enough to try a do or die action, and he has to get closer than this, and he does here on the exit of 5. He's now close enough to try something, maybe into 7. We're through 6 now. He's on the outside. You can't go through there side by side. There's contact on the straight already. He's on the outside for 7. He turns in, slots back in behind theirs, goes a bit deep, and maybe this is a chance for Hardy to snatch that second place away. Cullinan gets a good exit, though. Make sure that Hardy can't do so. The gap, though, at the front of the field, James, has opened up once again to above 5 tenths. It's going to be difficult now in these last couple of corners for Cullinan to try and make something happen.
He's got Carl Hardy defending him right behind at the moment as well. Hardy's looking to go in on the inside. Back up, Carl. That's not going to work for the both of you, as he's going to run it around the outside now. Race 4 is going to be done and dusted. I think it's going to be Jamie Ayres. I've got a funny feeling Ayres is going to win. Cullinan, I think, should get second. Here comes Jamie Ayres now. Hardy in third. As they go across the line, Jamie Ayres does take your victory. Ralph Cullinan second, Carl Hardy third. James Neve in fourth. PVG in fifth with Pete Newman in sixth. Arnold Channonier up 15 places, mind you, up into 7th place. Dale Benison is in 8th. Charles Kellerman, Anthony Jacobson. Right at the end, you haven't crossed the line yet, son. Turn it round. Oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. Right, Littler manages to make it through. And here comes the smoking Anthony Jacobson. I've got to have a look. It looks so quality. He's just got smoke bellowing out the back. There he is. Anthony Jacobson there as well. Smoke coming out the back of the car. Colin Sampson coming across the line. Carl Jacklett secured 14th place in the end here tonight. So another absolute barnstorming race here for the UK SimRacers. Dan, for the final time this evening, take us through the results.
Well, this time it's not an AM driver winning the race. It's 3 pros on the podium. Jamie Ayres is the first one, leading them, of course, in first place. Behind that, it's Ralph Cullinan. So, James, you were not correct. Just want to point that out. Carl Hardy in P3. James Neve in P4, once again winning the AM class. He made it 3 in a row. Pete Van Gool in P5, Pete Newman in P6, Arnaud Chanonnier in P7, Dale Bennison in P8, Charles Kellerman in P9, Roger Morton P10, Darrell Wright P11, Andy Littler in P12, Anthony Jacobson in P13, Cole Jacklett finishes in P14, Colin Sansom in P15, Steve Hansford P16, Martin Sampson in P17, Miles Owens in P18, Daniel Hunt P19, P20 for Jason Haddington, P21 for David Ayres, and P22 for Elise Main.
Right, I'd like you to point out, reading that time into that results, right? 18th and 22 ended up in YouTube chat, and currently 10 and 2 are still in the race.
At what point do I start hating you?
Well, I'm not saying that you have to hate me. What I'm saying is, clearly, you cursed the drivers that unfortunately finished further down. And Phil across the pond says it all. James was more right than you, Dan. And Sven Young Matheson. Good evening, Sven Young. Hope you're well.
I do not agree with that.
Well, look, I'm going to.
In the end of the day, we both got 0 right.
Anyway,
if you look at it that way.
Job done. In to the booth is currently Roger Morton. Good evening, Roger. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, I suppose. It's a bit disappointing night, really, but never mind.
Well,
on with.
Okay, let's put it into perspective. You said disappointing, right? Some of these people really struggled with this car tonight. You seem quick with it. Do you feel then on the struggle that your pace was not depicted in your race evening? Is that what you're saying?
I think I'm not used to picking my way through cars. This is not my pace of normal. I'm a bit outside my comfort zone, really. But I mean, pace. I couldn't believe it when I did my first practice session, and I was, I think I was
Second.
2 tenths behind Pete Newman. Not on last week. I mean, last Wednesday. And I was like, yeah, right, okay, I like this car. And then obviously this today, again, I've been on pace. It's just, I just found it hard picking my way through. I'm not used to it. And I hope it continues and something I can get used to.
Yeah. What do you think then you're aiming for this season? What is Roger Morton coming in and saying, I'm going for this season? What's the situation for you?
I'm aiming for leads. I'm aiming for top spots now. If I can carry on this pace.
Yeah, well, I hope you do as well. But we're going to Brands Hatch next. You know, fun circuit for everyone. We all love that circuit. You know, are you going to get some practice in? Are you going to
have done.
Oh, all right.
I had a play on Sunday night. Yeah, I feel comfortable now as well.
So are we going to see a Roger Morton victory?
I'd like to see myself towards the front end more often from now on, hopefully. I'm going to put the practice in a lot. To be fair, in the MX5, I literally just turned up and raced. I jumped in this car and I was on pace reasonably well straight away. So I just carried on practicing and practiced. And it's helped for tonight. And hopefully I can make it last till next week as well. And week after.
I am looking forward to what you can do, Roger. I think it's going to be absolutely incredible. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before you leave the booth this evening?
Craig Jones. Again, he's upset. He's not happy. He's not enjoying the car. And I hope he carries on. And I'm willing to help him practice and try and get him back to enjoying the car, because at the minute he's not enjoying driving it.
Yeah, I did see that earlier on in YouTube there as well. But Roger, much love as always, and I'll look forward to speaking to you next week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care. Right, next joining me in the booth is Ralph Cullinan. Good evening, Ralph. How you doing?
Yeah, very good, thanks. Very good, yeah.
But,
I wasn't Roger there. I don't know what he was talking about, but you know, he's the new king. He's the new king. Is that what he was telling you?
no, he just said that he was been practicing and he felt very comfortable in the car.
He was flying earlier on, but he had a lot of bad luck. He had a lot of bad luck. Yeah.
He did have a lot of bad luck. Now, David Ayres has already been in YouTube, and he basically says the practice session's booked for Thursday evening for the results, guys. Craig Jones not loving the car at all. You know, turned around and said that was it. But for you look very quick on it this evening.
Yeah, I just, you know, picked her up earlier on and thought, oh my God, what is going on here with this thing? And Mr. Hardy gave me a nice setup, so that helped. And yeah, it just seemed to click all of a sudden. I just thought, oh yeah, I get this. Okay. So yeah, it was the rate. I just a lot of spins. That was a problem. A lot of spins, you know. So thank God I didn't in the last race, and that's what happens, you know.
Did you think you could take the victory though?
I should have had a victory in the previous race. Definitely, I think I should have. Yeah, but I span out as usual, you know.
Yeah, but did you think you should have got a victory in race 4?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think I could have made some moves. I think I had the pace for it all right, and you know, car was catching up all the time. And yeah, no, I definitely thought it was there all right, but I didn't want to have another spin out. You know, I had 3 races of spinning around the place, so I thought let's just see what happens with Jamie and see if he makes mistakes. Maybe I'll capitalise, but that didn't happen. So yeah, it could have. Yeah, look, I'm just happy with tonight overall. Got the 4 finishes. That's what matters. You know?
Right, exactly. It's a big chunk of points for you guys as well. So, Ralph, onwards and upwards to Brands Hatch next week.
Oh yeah.
Oh, love that sort of track. It's going to be absolutely amazing.
My favorite track.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely incredible. What are you expecting from yourself this season?
Ooh, well, after tonight, I don't really know because I don't think we've been here in a long time, the bulk of us, you know. So I don't really know. First night's always a weird one. Plus, new car, you know, people aren't used to it yet. So, yeah, a bit more practice.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the old setup. But the problem I have is getting off the line. I need to set up the clutch. I just lost about 5 places every grid, you know.
Yeah, so, it's all about practice, mate, and it's all about practice. And I'm sure you guys will come back stronger, and you can give Craig Jones a nudge and give him some love as well. Don't go there. Don't go there.
I'll have to give him a cuddle or something, a long distance cuddle.
Yeah, give him a cuddle.
Yeah.
Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before you leave the booth this evening?
Yeah, the team first, you know, getting involved and setting all this up is really good. The exposure there, and yeah, the lads just for everyone's helping each other, you know, that's what we do. Sure, it's the same in every team, and we get a lot of people in our room, you know, just helping each other. And you guys, I'm going to watch stream now, so hopefully it's fantastic as usual.
It always is. But you take care, Ralph, and we look forward to speaking to you next week.
Cheers, James, Dan. Thank you.
Take care. Right, Dan. Upbeat Roger Morton, upbeat Ralph Cullinan, seem to be getting on with the car. Stellar job from them. What do we think, you know, overall, how's the season going to go based off race 1?
Well, based off race 1, it's going to be an amazing season. Based off this whole round, I think it's going to be even better. Fights throughout race 1, 2, 3, and 4. Not one race where you were, okay, this is quite of a race that is settled down and where not a lot of fights are happening. So, yeah, fights all across the field, and I'm looking forward to next week already.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be an absolutely incredible series here for the Winter Series from the UkSimracers, sponsored by Results Clothing. But that is it, guys. That brings us to the end of the broadcast. Much love to everybody that's jumped in as well. It's been quite a interesting evening here as well. Dan sending 2 drivers into YouTube chat. I think is probably the biggest achievement of the evening. James Neve as well, taking 2 victories as an AM, so only the 4th person overall to do that as well. But much love to everybody that's jumped in. Spain Young Matheson, David Ayres, who else was there? Phil across the pond, Elise Main, Ivan Bramer, Puck, Monica Heister. Much love to you, Chris Dixon and Hash Brown, SRL TV as well. I hope you enjoyed this evening's racing. But for now, guys, from myself and Dan Peebles, you all take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.